Hello again, my name is Gabe Zollner. A very interesting article on WorldNet Daily. The title is Former CAIR Leader Elected to Head Syrian Rebels. You know, those guys in Syria that are trying to depose President al-Assad, they have to be led by someone. So the chosen one happens to be a United States citizen. Yeah, and his name is Gashman Hito. Now, Gashman served as vice president for the Dallas-Fort Worth branch of CAIR. Now, according to the Global Muslim Brotherhood Daily Report, CAIR, the Justice Department discovered, was founded in Washington, D.C. in 1993 as a front for the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. Isn't that amazing? That brotherhood just keeps popping up everywhere. Now, what's also interesting is that the Muslim Brotherhood was formed in 1928 in Egypt after the demise of the Ottoman Empire with an aim of resurrecting the Islamic Caliphate and helping establish a global rule of Islam as taught in the Quran. Now, what's interesting with the Quran is you can have different groups interpret the Quran in different ways. A perfect example of that is that you have the Sunnis. Now, within the Sunnis, they have different sects of Sunnis. Okay? Same with the Shiites. But, like, for example, al-Qaeda, those guys are Sunnis. Now, let's assume Obama is what his father is, if that's his father. And his father was a Sunni. So if we can assume that Obama's a Sunni, you have to sort of wonder, well, why is he whacking al-Qaeda when they're Sunnis? Well, again, they have different sects, and they have different interpretations of the words of the Prophet Muhammad. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, anyway, now what's interesting too is that the rebels in Syria are being supported, as you all know, by President Obama, because he believes that they are the chosen ones to free the Syrians from the tyranny of the leadership of al-Assad. And if you remember, the new Secretary of State, Johnny Kerry, well, he gave $80 million to the rebels. Yeah. And you know what's amazing is Obama came back from Israel, but John is still in that part of the world because he's going to work his fingers to the bone to try to bring stability and peace and harmony. Yeah. You wonder how he's going to go about doing that when he's already supporting the bad guys? And what are the bad guys comprised of? Well, we know they're al-Qaeda, that's for sure. We know that they're not ex-convicts, they're prisoners. Because what they did in a lot of those countries, they opened up the cells. Yeah. And they said, if you guys want to go fight, and help us get rid of this tyrant Assad, we will let you free. Isn't that wonderful? So you got a ragtag group of psychopaths running around. They're going to try to free the Syrian people from this tyrant who's controlled the country for over 40 years. Well, you see, what the problem that they have with Assad is that he's a Shiite, belongs to a Shiite sect. And he got rid of the Brotherhood 40 years ago with his daddy. So that's what the problem is, you see. Obama wants to do the same thing in Syria as he did in Egypt. Now, you know, people say, well, what did he really do? What he really did was nothing. He did nothing to protect Mubarak. No. He made like it was his buddy, his bro, when he went over there in 2008, and he stuck it in the guy's back without even blinking. Yeah. And he did the same thing where? He did the same thing in Libya. Yeah. They made Gaddafi to look like he was nuts. And I mean, let's face it, Gaddafi wasn't 100% normal. But he wasn't an enemy to the United States. And Obama whacked him. And he did that without congressional approval. So why doesn't Congress do something more than slap his wrists? I don't think they should impeach him. They should charge him with crimes. If Obama gets impeached, then what that really says is that the United States recognizes him as being a president, because only a president can get impeached. So what really has to happen is he has to get arrested. And the problem is there's nobody to arrest him because the Attorney General, you know, he's up to here in all this crap as well. So what has to happen is Congress has got to take a firm stand. And Congress has to demand that Obama does what? Well, Obama has to release the documents that Donald Trump asked him to show. And he could have got $5 million for a charity of his choice, but he wouldn't show it. So now Congress has to demand that those documents get released. And the American people deserve to know if the person in the White House is really eligible. See, I don't think he is. And I know he thinks, well, he knows he's not, because if he was, he would have shown us the documents. Huh? This isn't rocket science. Folks, the pieces of the puzzle all fit together. Huh? Don't they? Yeah, they do. And what we got is we got a usurper in the White House that wants to bring the caliphate to America. That's next. Well, no, that's not next. After he finishes up in Syria, he's going to go to Jordan. Yeah. Yeah, and he was there already shaking hands, you know, and everything's cool and kosher. And yeah, he's going to do the same thing in Jordan as he did in the other Muslim countries. They will fall under the Brotherhood. As will, right here, good old USA, unless he stops. And so far, there's nobody in Congress willing to stand up to him. Hopefully, it will be if the American people all demand and write and email all their congressional representatives to do exactly that. Wake up, America, before it's too late.